All right, let me see here. So, um, basically, what I wanted to go over was just a concept that I use within my offense. Not sure if many people even know this or use this approach, but it's pretty simple, right? I like to do it from different spread sets, but you can pretty much do it from any 2x2 alignment, right? Um, Let me go over to spread. Actually, got spread. So basically, the you can do it with any play because the whole point is to get a diagnosis of what the defense is doing. It's just like a measuring tactic, right? So let me go to a different spread here. So let's spread wide slide, right? I just put. You don't have to put the four wide receivers out there, but I always do. So I'm gonna do it for this session here. So don't really matter who. So I like, so there's a play here, four verticals. And if somebody's on defense and they're doing a whole bunch of adjustments and stuff, like they're just making a lot of zone drops, different zone drops or whatever, men and different people have and whatnot, you can really check their temperature real quick and see exactly what they're trying to do, right? So let's say somebody tries to match your personnel. So you got four wide receivers. Let's just say for whatever reason they just come out in dollar, right? So dollar matches up 2x2, right? It's a balanced defense. So we'll just say they set up some stuff, right? So if they're just not paying attention, we'll just say they call any one of these plays. Regardless of what they do, you can always check their temperature by calling four verticals, right? Because looking at this, you can obviously tell that this is like some type of a cover three variation or cover one, right? So if I look at the play, it's cover one, right? But we'll just say they're trying to hide. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to hide what they're trying to do, right? So we'll pick our same play, and we'll just say they want to use zone drop. So we'll just say this is on 30 or 30. We'll say this is on 5. This is on 10. And they call, whatever play from dollar, right? So we don't know what play this is. We can take a guess, but four verticals is going to tell us everything that we need to know, right? Because there's different answers or there's different things that the defense does with zone drops on or off, and four verticals tells us that. So I'll just go and run this play real quick here. And the result of the play doesn't matter because we're just trying to see what the defense is doing, right? So we can look at the replay and we can see that nobody was pressed, right? So it's not man because nobody's pressed. And, this guy here is doing some kind of a crab walk, fading back. So you can see here, this is a cloud flag of some type, right? Some type of a zone drop. We can see the safeties. The safety is like, taking care of the middle, but he's like, he has to make a decision regardless, right? And the same thing on this side, right? No press animation, same crab walk. So this is probably a cover two. This is probably just a simple cover two with some zone drops, right? The yellow zones, you got a guy blitzing, and you got the yellow zone, which will probably be the user. So four verticals would have tore this up had I got some time. So if I block my running back, I just block my running back from going forward. So right now you can see here there's looks like a man coverage look. But again, you call this play, and you're going to see that again, like you're not getting much of a press with these receivers. The only time that you'll get a press, even with somebody has zone drops on, is if they call cover one, the play cover one press, which is exactly what this was. Because you can see here, they're all getting pressed, and the robber safety runs all the way down. Right? So this is like the one man coverage tell. But any other man coverage and somebody using zone drops or doesn't adjust their zone drops for whatever reason, it's a tell. They're going to get a free release. So we'll just pick another one here that doesn't have the word press in it. So we'll just say 2-man under. There shouldn't be any press here. Any decent press here. They're getting some kind of a press, but it's not the same as if you're calling like an actual 2-man under with no zone drops and you wanted to get physical at the line. But the Chiefs receivers aren't exactly the strongest, so they're not going to get the best release animations. They're just, they got some fast guys. That's about it. And you can see here, the safeties are still going to be lost regardless. But again, this is a direct tell, because if they're not giving you a press look, then it's going to be easy to diagnose. You get what I'm saying? It's going to be easy to diagnose. So let me try. Let's try something else here. Let's go 2-man under again. But this time we'll just do like a show 4 look. Well, actually, let's do a show cover 2, what we'll call cover 2 man. And we'll see if the same thing works. So you can see here, you can tell that there's a coverage shell being used, because they're not like this guy right here. He's lined up correctly, but you can see corner right here, Glenn, you see how they're like off to the side a little bit. They're playing like they're in a cloud alignment, but it's really 2-man under. So we'll just see how this plays out. Let's see if he gets a good check. See, so when people do stuff like that, that was just a random read. But when people do stuff like that, it's a tell. It's a tell in their defense. You see what I'm saying? So this is stuff that you have to look for, because when you combine this kind of stuff with the fact that people are going to use zone drops and try to overcomplicate their defense, it's going to leave stuff like this open. Like I can just freeform this down the middle, and that's going to be a pick. And if the safety overcommits, then this guy's all by himself. Hollywood's all by itself. So either way, a decision is going to have to be made. So, but then it forces them to play a certain way, right? So let's try. Let's take off the zone drops, and we'll just pick. We can pretty much pick any play in this formation to demonstrate what I'm trying to do here. But let me see here. Let's take out. I'll take out this cover 2 man. We'll put in the cover 2. Cover 2. Take out this blitz, and we'll just do. Let's see here. Quarters. So we got quarters. We got cover 4 drop. We got cover 3 lock. And we'll just do cover 3. We'll just use this cover 3 cover 3 hard flat. Even though it says it's a buzz, but hard flat. I just needed a cover 4. So then we'll just come out and the 2-man under. So we have everything. I don't have to keep positive. But the other thing is like, no matter what we do, is we can still figure out what they're doing, right? So there's a number of different things. I'm not talking about motion or anything like that, but I'm just talking about like just general hot routes. There's a number of different things that we can do post snap to try to figure out what the defense is doing, right? And if you get like a pre-snap look like this, then there's all kinds of stuff you can do other than motion. I didn't need motion I got. I'll go back over here. But you can do if they're giving you a cover two look like this, then you can do something like put him on the hitch and then stem him all the way down so you have a quick check down, and then we'll even make like a little high low read, right? So if you think that this is covered some kind of a cover two look, then you can do something like this, right? Because then the user has to take this route, otherwise that middle of the field is wide open. But if you take a look at the replay, if he does take the middle like that, then you can see that this route here is running right towards the middle of the field. So we can try to hit that this time. We'll just put that like this, and then what we can do is we can actually stem this route up like this. Let me see. We can stem it up twice, and we can see if this will get open or get the attention. So he's probably not the right guy. Maybe we should try this on the left hash. Let's try it on the left hash. Hopkins might not be the guy either because he's kind of slow. Or let's see, right? Hopkins, yeah. So we'll do something like this. So we'll block him. Yeah. So he's still on a little on the slower side, but as you can see, he had to step on that defender. So he gets a step on him. He gets a step on him, and it makes it to where this strong said he has to make a decision. So just think like when people play like cover zero or something like that, where there's no safety help, they want to be aggressive or whatever. That stuff doesn't, like, you're leaving that guy all by himself. You know what I'm saying? You're leaving that guy all by himself. So I'm gonna stem this up just a little bit more. And let me see. So if I motion him over, he goes to the inline. This could work, but we're gonna leave him here. Here, let's just see what this does. So we can see here, that's a bad throw again, but he was wide open again. You know, so it's just stuff like that. I feel like, you know, stuff like that does make a difference. You definitely want to check the temperature of your opponent, right? If they're playing cover four, they're giving you a cover four look like this. You can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The hitches and stuff are definitely going to work against these purple zones. So you can do stuff like this, create a high low read. So you have a stick concept right there on the right with Hopkins and Pacheco, and they're in cover four. They're going to have to, that linebacker or that corner right there is going to have to make a decision. And again, this guy right here he should be your read, because if he gets a press right here on that guy, then this is probably just a stock purple zone, which means that this table route is going to be wide open. But if he doesn't get any kind of press, he's going to be in the zone drop, which means that you got to be careful with that table route. So let's move him up. Let's see if we can do like a short curl. See if that makes a difference. So when we stem up the curl a little bit more, you can see that he gets pressed, which means that the table route is really going to be wide open. So he runs up, gets chucked a little bit, and this guy is wide open underneath. So you can take this little route. He catches it, you know, break the tackles like they usually do, and then just break up field. So it's little stuff like that, and that's just for verticals, and you can call that from any play in any 2x2 alignment. So not just spread wide slot like I have here in my custom, but just any given any given 2x2 alignment, that concept should work. Um, Now, what I usually do is I don't call it from spread wide slot. I like to call it from the actual the traditional gun spread. The reason why is because I will show you the difference here. We'll just use this play halfback option. Actually, let me get out of this cover two alignment real quick. Cover two shell. So the reason why I like this is because one, we can make the same concept here. Let's see here. So we'll just say we got the same concept. Now, what we could do is, if somebody's giving you this press alignment, and you want to confirm if this is man coverage or not, you can always like motion this guy in. Now you have a stack alignment over there on the left side, and you can see because it's pressed man and there's a stack alignment, this guy backed off. So now we have a tell that this is man coverage right there. So because it's man coverage, now that dictates what we can do as far as making making a check now, right? So we can create a route combo that will beat the man coverage over there on the left side. So we can try this streak slant combo. He's getting leverage, so now he can beat that. The user's gonna have to run with that. So we can try it again here. So we can go man coverage. You see that he backs off. So now we can do stuff like this, right? We can team it under, so let's do dual slants, and then let's just see what happens if we put this guy on the smoke screen to make sure that he stays down low, right? So we'll just see this. This is just may not work, but we can see here slant still open again, and now we can see that not only was this slant open, but now you can see here that we created a rub concept now, because you can see that this slant, the opposite side slant, ran right into him and left him wide open. We get a little bit of time, then we can hit that player. Now, there is a user, this guy right here, assuming this guy is the user, he's just standing there because the running back's not going anywhere. But if we just put the running back on the route, then that's going to take care of him too. Now, that's the only difference, right? This is shaded down, man. So this is definitely something that you want to look into here as well. Man coverage, everybody loves, thinks that their man coverage is just going to beat them, for whatever reason. But then again, like me being in the custom, that's one thing, but you also want to just have other routes that can be man coverage too, the different types of man coverage. So there's different things that you can do to set that up. So we'll just take a different play. Let's try a different one here. Let's see here. Let's try this. Let's try this. Shallow cross. Z shallow cross. So we'll go on flip play on offense. So wheels should work better on the short side of the field, right? So I got Mahomes, the high run master. We'll just see if we create like a little switch concept against two men under. Same thing. Motion this guy over, and we'll even block this dude. We'll even put this guy into coverage. See if that makes a difference. So there's a short side of the field. There's a wheel concept on the left, and we're blocking the running back. And we'll see if it works. Look like it got cooked, but we'll try it. We'll try it again just to make sure. So put Brown on a wheel, and then lock this guy, and then we'll even put Bell on in the yellow zone. So what you can as you can see here is there's a switch concept on the left side of the field. We motion the guy in to create the stack, and we can tell here that this is man covered based off of the stack, right? So move this guy over, and we'll see here again getting cooked. Getting cooked for what should be a touchdown. Now the issue is if we try to do the same thing on the wide side of the field, I don't think that it will work the same way. This is something else that we should be looking into because the average person doesn't really understand that the hash marks matter. So you have two different wheels here, and the left side is not getting open. The right side is also not getting open. So you want to make sure that you understand when and why you're playing these concepts against these different coverages. One thing you can also do is if you have them in the playbook, is you can call option routes, plays with option routes. So on this game, I'm not exactly the most excited about the actual run and shoot playbook with those choice routes, but I do like them still. And, I just think that the actual run and shoot playbook is a little bit too small for me. But in the CFM setting, I should say. But in general, the plays are still good. So we'll just take this play here. This is run and shoot hitches, and you have the two option routes on the outside that convert to fades, and then you have the option route from Worthy in the right slot that should convert to a post or a dig, depending on the leverage. So this is two man under. So we'll just take a look at the snap, the play, and we'll just see what it does. And then we'll look at the replay. So we can see here that this option route here is getting pressed at the line, which means that it's underneath coverage and he's capped. So this is a no-go. If you see two men under, not going to work. Same thing on this side, right? Same thing on this side. But we can see here in the slot that this post route is working. Middle of the field's open, so this post route is open. Anyway, sorry about that. I had to take a call. So the issue here, so this is another play here with the choice patterns, and we're doing the same concept here where creating the stack alignment on the left. And what I did was I stemmed down. All I did was stem down the hitch route that's on the stick pattern that's on the left side. I stemmed it all the way down. And I still have the choice pattern in the slot, and then I also have this choice pattern on the outside, which converts to a fade as well. So we're testing this against the 2-man under. All right, we're testing this to see how it works. So far it does work. There's parts about the play that do work, but this is what we're looking for here. We're still getting the rub pattern or the rub concept, and this is a mismatch. This guy is getting beat, right? Because if this safety actually pays attention and does his job and converts over to the side, like he rushes over towards the left hand side, then it's going to leave this choice pattern wide open over the middle of the field. But if he stays, then nothing's really going to be open on that side. But he also has this fade pattern over here, so he's running away from the safety, which this would be a very, very tight throw. But with the right wide receiver, he can probably still make that throw. So let me see if I can put Hardman in the slot, Worthy on the outside. We'll see if that same play works. I also want to try this. If I stem this up instead of down, if I stem it up once instead of down, and then I just put him on the streak, and we'll just see how this works too. So he doesn't get hands on him. Still gets open here. So this concept is really good off the stack side. So that's the one thing that's been consistent this whole time. So that's been consistent. It takes away the safety here, and then I could probably stem this up, and then we might be able to get that choice pattern up, that choice pattern to be wide open too. So let's try that. So we'll do that. Stem this up once. Stem this up one. Okay, so let's try stemming up the post. So he's not getting pressed, which is good. So that's the good thing. We don't want them to put hands on us. This is 2-man under, and he's not putting no hands on us in the slot. So that's a great thing, right? So let's move it up one, and then move this square, move that up one, and then we'll put Brown on the streak. And then we'll put the stack over here on the left. We got the running back blocking. So let's go ahead and do this again. Once again, no hands in the slot. So I think that's good. So the issue is that the safety, the free safety, is still standing flat-footed over here. So he's standing flat-footed because there's a threat coming towards him, and he's actually reading that. He's waiting for that. Because you see here how he turned around and he's waiting for that post to come in, right? So either way, unless this guy right here has a significant speed advantage, he's not open. He's not going to be open at all. So let's try this again, but let's try it on the right hash. Let's see if that makes a difference. So same thing. So we're gonna put Brown here on the streak. We're gonna stem this pattern up one, choice pattern up one, and then we're gonna stem Harbin's route, the X. We're gonna stem that up one, right? So like the ball, once again, no hands. We can see the choice pattern getting open, and then it looks like, assuming we get some time, it looks like this works better on the right hash. But let's take a look. Always look at the replay if you're trying to figure out the reason why something is working or not working. So we're not worried about the choice or the hitch pattern. We know this is going to work against the 2-man under. We're talking about taking away that safety, which he has a streak looking dead at him. And then we want this guy. This is the read right here. So what we could do is this. Right? We could, to make sure that he doesn't like have eyes in the back of his head, what we could do is we could put square, stem that up one, and then we could put Brown, put him on the curl, and then just put it, stem this up maybe twice. Okay, and then we can actually put, let's see what happens if we stem down Hardman one. So we stem down one. So now it looks like it's shorter, right? It looks like it's a lot shorter. But let's just see how the safeties react when you do that. It's not getting no time right now. Let me actually take these dudes out because they're messing up what I'm trying to do here. All right, so same thing here. See here, stem this down. And we'll stem this one up. And then we'll stem this one down. And then we'll see how this works. So it looks like it's working better. The main thing is making sure that you have time. So if you look at it now you can see that he got stemmed down. He's still not getting no hands on him. And he's running the post pattern just how it should be, and he's running right underneath this safety. Right? He's running right underneath this safety, which is what we want, because then, we can lead the pass over towards the sideline, right? Because that safety is reacting weird. So let's just try stem it down. We'll just not let's not do anything, but put the stack. We'll just see if this is the route that's making the difference, right? We'll just see that, right? So we can see here that the main thing here is that we have to get the free safety's attention. So This route by Hardman in the right slot is perfect. But the main thing is we're trying to get Hooker's attention as a free safety, so he can. We need to have somebody that's like directly in front of him. So we can do. There's a couple of things that we can do here. So let's try. We'll just keep putting him on the streak. I think the streak is the best option. I think the streak is the best option. So assuming we got time, yeah, we just need to make sure we have time. And it looks like it works best from the right hash. So stem it down one, create the stack. Put this over, and boom, there you go. So it looks like that's the move against the 2-man under. Now let's just say they shade over the top. So it's 2-man under, but they're shading over the top. Let's just see if this makes a difference. It would affect these two routes over here on the right side because they have choice patterns. So let's just see how it works. So we'll do the same thing, put this guy on the streak, and then go from there. So as you can see here, one thing that didn't make any kind of a difference is this stick pattern. Now he's really lost because he's running this stick pattern and he's still shading, he's still backing up, and this pattern is running inside. Right? So this dude will be open late. The issue is that this right here is not open, or it's not going to be open unless you give like a pass lead again, which is what we were doing anyway. So this is fine. And then this pattern over here, he doesn't get a press on the outside, but you can see here he's also not open. But that also allows him to run down all the way downfield. He runs all the way downfield, and then he stops, turns around because one of the patterns that he's on is a curl route. So if you take a look at his route right there on a circle, if it's shaded over the top, he's running a curl. So we'll do it again here. Shade over the top. Put this guy on the streak. And then we'll look at circles route. So he doesn't get the release. He didn't do it that time. Oops, I didn't go over the top that time. So we'll go ahead and do 2-man under again over the top. Being ran a little bit too far, but downfield, maybe on the left hash it might make a difference, but I'm not the biggest fan of that route. I'd rather just put him on, if I know it's over the top coverage, I'll just put him on the normal curl and go from there. But you can see here, he's covered basically, right? It looks like he's still playing the trail technique right there too, though, which is weird. One thing you gotta do though, especially like now if it's zone, if they give you a man look, but it's zone. Then they're gonna stop. They're gonna stop and hitch up. So it's cover two, and I still run the same thing. I'm gonna run these drag patterns, these drag choice patterns, and they're gonna stop right